guys.
Hi.
How are we all doing? Hope everyone's well. Welcome back to another episode 5 of ToxICK Twins. Thank you everyone for joining us on this lovely day, night, whenever you're listening to it. Fucking give me that look. Fuck off.
She's always so bad at these.
Oh, I hate intro. I actually have to use my peanut brain
sorry.
to think about shit to say, but here we are.
Yeah, she's doing well. We actually have a special guest today that will not be speaking. She might try. It's Lulu. Lulu's my dog, for those who don't know. She's in the background, loving life. I've got Lulu for a couple of days this weekend because Lulu's dad is at Splendor getting absolutely drenched. So
That's a bit disgusting
rip
there,
you.
isn't it?
But yeah, that's why she's in the background. So if you hear her growl at anything, I'm so sorry. She's actually quite feisty. Not sure where she gets it from.
She's bored already as well.
She's super bored. She keeps yawning.
Hey.
But yeah, so you'll see that in the videos when we post them on YouTube. But we also wanted to thank everyone because we hit 1,000 downloads today
on Spotify.
So obviously we've been doing this for a month now, which is super crazy and super exciting. This is our 5th episode.
5th episode. Yeah.
Handful. That's huge.
It's gone so quick.
It has.
It's gone so quick.
Like,
yeah.
We've always said that we could chat shit for hours, but like, literally, like,
actually have chat shit for hours.
I literally drove to Crescent Head and I listened to all 4 of them, and it nearly got me like most of the way there. I was like,
good.
What the fuck?
That's good.
But yeah, so thank you so much for that. That's huge. Like, we obviously did this as a way to kind of do something different,
just
come
for a bit of
together
fun.
and have something on the side. And yeah, we didn't really expect to have so many people, so many viewers across the globe. Like,
Yeah.
it's been insane. And yeah, thanks so much. Like, you know, our voices are obviously really nice to listen to.
Yeah.
Because
Thanks.
you keep doing it.
Thanks for all of the support as well. Like,
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
been
amazing.
amazing. Like, it's been really, really lovely. So,
And we're obviously just getting better and better. We've got a fucking webcam now, and it doesn't take us nearly half an hour to set up. So,
yeah. We're getting better. Well, Riss is getting better anyway. She does most of the work.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Fair. I mean, Brooke
Sorry.
plugs everything in. And I just set it up.
I am like that boyfriend that's just like, oh yeah, she'll just do everything. I'll just go along with the ride, to be honest.
Like,
So,
I'm basically the producer and like the rider and
Yeah.
everything like that.
she plans everything out, and then
Brooke's
I'm like,
just the person who sits there
yeah,
and looks good.
let's go. Let's go. I'm cool with anything.
You do you. I'm like, does this look good? Do you like this logo? Are you right to talk about this? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, give me something.
Input. I give 0 input. Sorry, but you know what? I'm here.
She's here. She looks
I'm
good.
doing my part.
And her brain's working this week, so
Oh,
it's
my brain. Okay. When you guys watch the video of episode 4, you can just see my brain processing shit. I think I asked Kay 5 times in the space of like 2 seconds on how much she enjoyed being single and like her single life and blah, 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 blah. Like, my brain was just not functioning last week, and I apologize for everyone who watches the video and goes, she's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Because I had a few moments last week, so I apologize for that, but
It was funny.
good to go this week.
We actually had to like stop and cut a fair bit because we had
I'm
some
sorry.
difficulties and Brooke had some difficulties.
Yeah, my brain just wasn't braining last week, so
But
she's
that's
alright.
okay. You know what? We all have those weeks.
Yeah.
And we move forward.
She's good this week, so
Sweet.
let's get on to
We're
it.
going to dive in. This week is going to be, again, a little bit more serious. We're going to be talking about contraception and consent. Two big, I think controversial sometimes topics for males and females. We're not going to, take a side or mainly speak for females and, blame guys for things like not how we work. We kind of just say our opinions, and obviously we're just 2 females, so we can't really give much of a boy's opinion.
Yeah.
But everything we say, we're obviously not trying to be sexist at all.
No.
Obviously with consent as well, it is a 2-way street for sure. So everything that we say obviously is coming from 2 females and our experiences. So everything that is said again is not us just, dissing the male species.
Yeah.
We understand that boys go through stuff as well, and we're definitely not discrediting that.
No.
bit of a disclaimer
Yeah.
going into this one.
We can only really talk about our experiences as a female. Like, can't really talk on behalf of a guy. We definitely will get a guy's opinion.
Yeah, that's actually
very soon.
happening next week. Yes.
Hopefully we'll have a special male guest on next week to talk about all things from the male side. But yeah, just take into consideration that, you know, we're talking from our perspective and what we've experienced and what we've gone through. So just take it lightly.
Yeah.
Even though it's a serious topic, just take it lightly.
So contraception, we're going to start with as our first segment. We're actually going to start pretty lightheartedly, just to get, you know, to spice it up a bit, get you interested. We're going to chat about some funny sex stories with, like, you know, condoms, even if it's tampons, like random shit that I've had happen to me, or I know of people that have had happen to them. So yeah, do you have any experiences?
I don't really have any funny sex stories with condoms. Like, I was in a long-term relationship, so we didn't really use them.
Yeah.
To be honest. And that is obviously a massive topic for everyone to discuss. Like, I was discussing it today with the guys at work. Condoms they're not fun. They're not great, but they keep you safe.
They do.
So, it is a bit of a hit and miss with the condoms, really. But I personally haven't had anything, like, dramatic happen. Like, I know that people have had condoms stuck inside them. Like, obviously, when a guy's gone to pull out and it's gotten stuck.
Yeah.
I luckily haven't had anything like that happen to me.
Yeah,
So.
I've had them break, like, a fair few
I
times.
haven't had them break.
And I've had it,
either.
like, break and, like, snap, and it's hit me inside.
Oh,
And I'm like,
ouch.
I'm thinking, like, oh my god, did you just finish? And it, like, somehow, like, shot through. Like, that's
you
powerful.
broke it.
And that was not nice. Like, it's like, you know, like when elastic bands, like,
Hits you.
hit you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that. And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Oh, inside
It
you
wasn't
as
nice,
well.
though. Like, it wasn't
ouch.
like I thought, you know, if that happened, it would be like, oh,
It just
nice.
did like a little
It was
flick.
like a whole, like, something just bit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with your penis?
Blame it on the penis, not the condom.
But yeah, I've had that stuff happen a few times. Like, I think when boys put them on, they snap as well. They're quite, it depends on, like, the brand a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I've known Skin's brand to be quite easily snappable, is that a word?
Yeah.
Broken?
I
I think they're
snappable.
super thin.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you're being a bit rough with it, just chill
Just
out.
be gentle. I know you want to
Just
get it
chill
done.
out.
But just be gentle.
And don't tell a girl to put it on with their mouth because, you know, teeth are a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? We do really well to stay, like, to keep our teeth away from you
Yeah.
while we go down. But just remember, they're there. Okay?
They're definitely
They're
there.
there. Okay? And we're trying to unroll this fucking thing while you can't even do it yourself.
Yeah.
So, just remember that.
Yeah.
But I think the funny things is, like, my friend the other day, she was having sex. Shout out to my friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she had sex for the first time in 15 years.
Oh, bless her. You
Bless
go,
her soul.
girl.
I'm so proud of you. It wasn't a virgin situation. Maybe a re-virginized, but yeah, it was after 15 years.
Wow.
And then, so she did it. Good for you. So proud of you. You know who you are. And then I think she did it a second time, and like a week later, and she was on her period. And she wears one of those cups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I've never had an experience with them. I think that would be really weird. But anyways.
Yeah. Each their own.
And she was like, she spoke to me the next day, and she's like, I literally had to go fishing.
Oh,
And I was
gosh.
like, what do you mean? So she's like, for the cup. And I was like, for a cup? Like, what? She's like we had sex and it was in there.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you forget that? Like,
yeah.
how? She's like, I genuinely thought I was going to have to get like a coat hanger.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like,
The
Jesus.
poor thing, having to think about that.
Like, I mean, I've had that happen to me with like a tampon. Like, I went on this massive water slide in Bali and forgot it was in there, and it like shot it up me. So, and I had fake nails on at the time, so I was full like legs spread in the bathroom trying to like dig for gold,
it out.
basically. So I had to get my partner at the time to be like luckily we've been together for a while.
Yeah,
and I was
so
like,
it
can
was
you kind of like
normal. Help me.
open it up and just surgically remove it with your fingers?
Ouch.
It wasn't fun. Like, it felt
No.
nice though, like him getting in there, but still.
The relief that you
And then
would
like
have
pulling it
taken
out, I was like,
yeah.
whoa, nearly finished from that.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually
Yeah,
like,
it
nice.
would be.
Anyways, I feel like that happens a bit though. I feel like sometimes you just forget.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just forget about that stuff, especially when you haven't had sex in 15 years.
Yeah, like, again, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. That would have felt
solid.
really good for him as well, though.
Yeah.
She super.
How did she feel?
She said it was great.
Was she glowing?
She loves it.
Yeah.
She's loving it now. She's kind of like, I'm having sex everywhere. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I haven't had sex for a bit. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
We also want to have a chat about how condoms make guys soft. Obviously, we cannot have an opinion.
Yes.
And we get that.
Yeah.
But we have an opinion that says, like, it's annoying.
Oh, it's so fucking annoying.
What are your experiences?
So
Please explain.
I had met a guy at a festival that Riss and I went to, and we ended up going back to his, and that was his excuse. It was like, oh,
not we,
no.
as in like both.
Oh
of us,
no, sorry,
by the
like we
way.
didn't go back to the same place. Like we
don't ask for
ended
that
up
film.
Going separately, meeting up later, but like going
again,
separately.
no sexual activity for the both of us together.
Yeah,
but separately,
yet
yes.
to happen. I reckon it'll happen eventually. I reckon in the same household.
Okay, I was like, a threesome. We've chatted about it.
Let's go. But yeah, that was his excuse, being like, oh, like he was rock hard, he was ready to go, and I was like, do you have a condom? And he's like, oh, yeah, but they make me soft. And I was like, well, you're not fucking getting it if you can't put it on. And it wasn't a fun experience. Like it just dampens the mood.
Yeah, but that's what they say. They're like, but why? And I'm like, yeah, okay, it brings you down, but it makes me pregnant if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So like, and we could also both get something if you have been checked. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
And like obviously when you're meeting someone for the first time, like you want to
be
safe.
Know this guy.
No, like I didn't know him. He was really sweet. He was an absolute sweetheart.
Just knew his mate as well.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't really like a.
Oh, we've been talking on.
He's clean. Met, like, from what I know, his doctor's records.
Exactly. Like I've read his doctor's report.
I've done that.
But yeah, it's more just the safety of both of us as well. Like
I mean, we're not going to preach it because we don't use them that often.
No.
So we're not going to say that we're complete saints.
Stay safe. If you're not using them, please just get tested
You
regularly.
know you're stupid.
Like
we know we're stupid.
I know we all say pull and pray, and you know.
I've never heard that.
Have you not?
No.
TikToks, come on, you're on it all the time. Like surely,
I am, but that's not what's on
surely, yeah, pull and pray is what a lot of people say.
Wow, I think I'm actually going to get that tattooed. Anyways, yeah, like I just don't get it. Like obviously I slept with someone who it was a very built up situation. We kind of wanted to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And he, bless his soul, had an STI that I knew about. And he was like, let's do it without it. And I was like, what?
No. So that would put me off.
That's a no. And he's like, I can't do it without condoms. With condoms, sorry. It'll make me soft. And I was like, okay, like I'm not going to risk getting, let's be real, it was fucking herpes. I'm not going to risk getting that. Like, that's a for lifer. So, no. And he's like, it's like a 1 in like a million. I'm like, it's not.
No, because you know what, being my luck if I was with someone.
Oh,
like,
your
I
luck.
get it.
Bloody hell, your immune system.
It would be 1 in a million and I would be at 1. That would fucking get it.
You'd be lucky.
Fuck.
But I think a big thing with that is that you shouldn't actually make girls feel bad about that. Like if a girl's trying to be safe, don't make them be like, oh, it's going to make me soft.
Yeah.
And make them feel like it's ruining their chances. Like,
yeah.
If you can't get hard because of a little bit of latex on you, maybe you should harden the fuck up.
Yeah.
Literally.
And a lot of guys like latex as well. Like,
true.
If you like latex on a girl...
Which is not comfortable, by the way.
I'm sure you'd be fine with it on your dick.
Literally. So. Have you seen half the shit we wear to impress you? Like, a thong, G-string, is not that comfortable sometimes.
No, it's really not that comfortable.
Like, come on.
It's like having a wedgie all the time.
Exactly. If you put a leash on me, it's not that comfortable.
But we do it for you, don't we?
Yeah. So, maybe just put something around that.
Just get the fuck over it.
When you're wanking and masturbating, whatever you want to call it, just get your hand, put a condom on, and just practice.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal.
Practice makes perfect. Preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah.
5 Ps. Get your shit sorted.
Yeah, no, it's better than catching something, honestly. And if, like, it's the same for the girl, though. Like, the girl could give you something.
Yeah,
She might not know if she has something or not.
Which is more likely the girl has something, because we get, like, thrushed quite often.
Yeah.
Or it's easier for girls to get chlamydia.
Yeah.
Fun fact. And a lot of people are asymptomatic to chlamydia.
Yeah,
okay?
So a lot of us don't know.
And if you've been peed on by a koala, you can get chlamydia. Just a fun fact.
It's a bit of a weird...
We live in Australia.
Weird fact to just throw in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Talking about chlamydia, let's just talk about the koalas.
Yeah, so, but speaking of, like, you know, contraception, stuff like that, I have some friends that have some crazy stories with contraception, though.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously the IUD, the copper rod.
In the
that
arm.
obviously gets, no, the copper one. What's it called? The one that goes up you? I think it's the IUD, something like that. It's copper. And have you seen it? And it like looks like a little, it looks like a little fallopian. I think so.
Is it a marina?
And it goes up your, you know, and it sits in there for like years. I think.
Yeah, it's a marina. Yeah, a lot of
that's
older,
what that's what
people,
it's called. I know it as a copper
get them.
thing.
Yeah.
So one of my friends got it when I was in uni, and it was when it just like kind of came out, and we were all like, "That's awesome! Like, can you feel it? Like, all this stuff." And she's like, "No." But like when she was having sex, with her partner, actually, he must have hit it, and it scraped the lining. Yeah. And it proper, like, like she said, it was, like, bleeding everywhere. It was like a banjo string had snapped. That was how much blood was going out. So that has scarred me.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a very rare occasion.
Oh, yeah, but it can happen.
But it can happen.
It can happen.
So, like, I hope you're okay. It was a while ago.
Yeah, that's a
but
lot.
That's
that would be
painful.
A lot to go through.
And I also know that the rod, as you said.
in the arm.
The implant. A lot of girls I know have had it ripped out by playing netball, playing a sport. Somehow a girl's fingernails have just pulled it out.
Ouch. Oh, God.
Which is like, sorry. Do you have, like, bear claws?
Can I just say, like, can I just put a pause and say, guys, this is what we go through to not get pregnant. Like,
exactly.
Just be aware of the crap that a lot of the girls go through. Like, not even just with the rods and the marinas, like, with the pills as well.
Yes.
Like, which we'll talk about.
Which is actually,
It's a lot. And the pill can give a lot of girls so many symptoms as well. Like, if you've seen videos of the packets, like, it comes in, like, a little instruction manual, whatever, side effects.
Huge.
And it's huge. Like, we can get so many side effects from all of this contraception. And all you guys have to do is wear a condom.
And you still complain about it.
And you still aren't a fan.
So,
like, just weigh it out. Like, weigh out the options of what we go through opposed to what you guys have to do. So just, when you're arguing with your girl on her PMS week, just be like, oh, no.
Hang on.
Let's just back it up a little bit and understand what she's going through. Because we go through fucking a lot.
Yeah, which leads us on to our next subject about our two different experiences with the pill. So I am now not on any contraception. I should be, and I've been looking into it.
It's like a couple months looking into
now.
It.
But I think I'm quite put off it because I was on the pill from 16 to 18. That was obviously a very crazy time in my life. It was when I was in year 12, going through VCE because I'm Victorian. For you, the people that don't know that. So it was super stressful. I was in a long-term relationship as well, and that relationship was quite not lovely. It got quite, how do I explain? It was rough, and it was hard, and it was very emotionally abusive, I'm going to say, type of relationship. Again, I don't have bad feelings towards him, like, you know, we were young, and sometimes it happens, but, you know, no excuses. So during that time, I was obviously on the pill, so I was a very emotional mess. I was diagnosed with depression around that time, so a lot was going on, and I blamed the pill. I don't think it helped me. It definitely didn't help my hormone imbalance, so it freaked me out, and it also made me put on a lot of weight, so everything just went wrong. Definitely around that time period in my life, but the pill kind of just triggers that for me, so I've kind of stayed away from it.
Yeah.
Whereas what? You've had it for how long?
I've been on the pill for over 12 years. So when my first relationship, obviously I was quite young, so Mum and I had that discussion of me being on the pill quite early. So yeah, I've been on it for 12 years and I haven't had any issues, and I'm on the generic brand. Like, I'm not on Yaz, I'm not on any of this high, like, massive ones that they have got now. I have just been on the generic one and I have been fine. I go through, like, the standard, like, mood swings, like typical PMS symptoms, but yeah, I haven't really had an issue with it whatsoever. So, which has been good. Like, I haven't had a problem, and I've never been off it. Like, I haven't gone through a stage where I'm like, oh, I'm going to jump off it or not. I think there was probably, like, a little bit of weight gain, but, like, otherwise, like...
Yeah, which I know, like, a lot of girls don't go through anything. Like, I know that it's always just personal. It depends on who you are, depends on, like, your hormones. It depends on a lot of things. It may affect you and it may not.
Yeah. And it's definitely something that needs to be considered. Like, so some girls aren't on anything, like you. Like, no rod, no Mirena, no pill, no nothing. If you're going to do that, and which Riss is, like, she's safe and she looks after herself. So if you're going to be on nothing, which a lot of girls are, like, they don't want to put anything in their bodies, and that is completely fine. But if you're going to have unprotected sex, just make sure that you're looking after yourself and getting tested and making sure that you aren't catching anything, because it is just a prevention, really. Like, if the boy's not wearing a condom and you're not on anything, you want to be safe, so just be careful.
Obviously being on it is good, and if you don't have any side effects, definitely do it. Like, it's the best thing for you. But if you do have side effects and you're worried about it, you know, it's normal to not want to be on it. I always felt for a while, a few doctors I spoke to were quite judgmental of me not being on anything, and it really annoyed me, because I was like, look, it is my choice. Like, I'm not just doing it to defy people. I'm not trying to do it to be like, oh, I want the risk in my life.
Yeah.
I am a fun person and I love adventure, but that's ridiculous. I'm not trying to be pregnant. I'm not trying to do it just because. Like, if you speak to me and you know my experience, which you do now, it's quite understandable why I don't do it.
Yeah.
But there are ways around it, and there are things that I look into, and just need to take action on, really. I'm just being lazy about it, to be honest.
You just got to be aware of it.
Yeah,
and which you are. So it's not like you're just being oblivious about it. Being like, oh, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant.
Naive. Like, I know what's happening. And if there is ever a situation where the pull and pray thing doesn't work, I will always, get the morning after pill, which, please know that the morning after pill is actually not as terrible as it sounds, and it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah.
If you know anyone in a medical profession, they will tell you that it's actually not terrible to have it all the time. Like, there's a lot of myths about
if you have
the
it
morning
too
after.
often.
Yeah, if you've had it more than 5 times, it'll impact your infertility. Is that it?
Yeah.
It's not true. Like, if you are infertile, it may just be other things.
Yeah. There's so many other things that can affect you.
It's really not going to cause problems with you. Obviously, it probably isn't the best thing for you to take it all the time, because it can have very big side effects, like, nausea, everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't be so ashamed to take it. It's obviously quite a prevention thing as well.
Yeah.
Being safe. If you are so worried and you just don't know if they have finished, like, do it to be safe. Honestly,
yeah,
I've done it as like just a precaution.
Yeah,
many times, and I felt so much better, because just having that stress actually can just really affect your period, and it may actually not come on time.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. Like, one of the first times that my first boyfriend and I had sex, like, it was obviously, we didn't use a condom, and I stressed. And I knew that everything was fine. Like, I knew how it all ended, but I was stressed, and my period was a couple of days late. So if your body goes into stress, especially when you're on, like, obviously I had only just started the pill, so I wasn't on any regular period, but when your body is going through that, like, that's meant to be your period stage, stress can put so much strain onto that. So, just do it just to be safe. There's no harm in doing it, just to look after yourself. So
yeah, exactly. So again, if you're ever worried about stuff, just do it. Take the morning after, speak to someone, a parent, a friend. Like, if you don't want to go get it, other people will do it for you.
Yeah, just talk to someone about it. If you're stressed and if you're worried about it that much, talk to someone about it. Like, don't be afraid to just be like, hey, I need help. Like, that's not something that you should be ashamed of, really. So
and on the end of that, we're going to start into our second segment, which is about consent. Consent obviously is it's quite a known concept. You know, it should be drilled into everybody at a certain age.
Yeah.
Before you start having sexual intercourse. Ew. Why did I say that?
Sexual intercourse?
Yuck.
That was better than a lot of other words.
Obviously, everyone knows what consent is. You know, we're not here to tell you
beat around the bush
what it is. But I think a big thing for me when things do happen, one thing that everyone should know is that consent isn't just if someone says yes, then they can't say no. I think a lot of guys that I've encountered or I've known, it could be females as well. Again, I'm not trying to be sexist. Just speaking from experience, a lot of guys don't understand that that's not consent.
Yeah.
If someone says yes, great. Again, awesome. But when someone then has said yes and says no, that is still no.
Yeah. Once she says no or once he says no, that's it. You could be midway through and she could be feeling very sick or something could happen or something's going on with her body or his body for that matter. And they go, no, I can't do it. Like, I need to stop.
That's it.
That's it. Like, don't put pressure on them because that is when it just gets messy.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing for girls, boys. If that's the situation you've been put in, and you feel terrible because you're like, oh shit, I said yes, then I said no, and they've made me feel bad about it. No. You've said no, you've said stop.
Yeah.
You've verbalized that you've had enough. You do not want to take part anymore. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. And that other person needs to respect that decision.
Exactly. This could be in many different scenarios. Like, it doesn't have to be completely during penetration, I'd say.
Yeah.
It can be before, it can be when things start to happen after. Like, if someone says yes and then before it happens they say no, again, you just need to stop.
Yeah.
Like, that's the end of it. Like, I think in situations I've been in, people think that it's the whole, like, you're joking around and being like, no, stop, like, and which I get. Sometimes people do joke around and they do say stop as, like, you know, it's a joke. I've done it before, but not in, like, a painful way or, like, I'm trying to stop it. Actually, it's just, like, when someone's, like, tickling you or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, stop it. It's usually that's how I'll say it, but it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
If someone is still thinking that you're not serious about it and you've, like, been, like, stop, really, like, change the tone of your voice, like, stop moving and just be like, no.
Make it known.
I'm done.
Make it obvious.
Because, again, sometimes people just don't understand.
And, like, especially if they do think that you're taking the piss or, like, joking about it.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, no, you've already said yes. Like, we're already halfway through. Like, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there can be a lot of pressure. But you just got to make it known. And if you feel uncomfortable, like, just verbalize it. Don't be afraid to just turn around and go, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel uncomfortable. Like, get off me. Or, like, stop doing what you're doing because this is too much. Like, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Like, I know it can be a very scary situation.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Especially if you're with someone that you don't know or you haven't been with them before or it's all new or, you know, anything like that. It can be a very uncomfortable situation to be in. But your safety is the most important thing, regardless whether you're a female or a male. Like, your safety is the most important thing when it comes to this sort of stuff. So make sure that you verbalize it and make sure you make it obvious. If not, start throwing punches.
Yeah. Just get them out.
Don't be afraid to right hook them or something.
Yeah, literally. women can hit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just a big thing is just don't ever compare your situations to other people. Like, yes, there are some extreme cases of, you know, rape and stuff like that. But even if you are uncomfortable and you have been assaulted, it's still something you need to address.
Yeah.
It's still something that is terrible and it can affect you for a long time. Like,
especially if you don't talk about it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel ashamed of it. Look, it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people I know. Like, it's very common. And a lot of the time it happens with the people that you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually, the statistics say that it's usually the person that you know.
Yeah.
Someone that you're comfortable with. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the time, from what I've read up, is that they think it's because you're joking around.
Yeah.
Terrible excuse, but still. So don't just think, yeah, this stranger's going to do it. It can happen with anyone.
Yeah. It can happen with your partner.
It can. Exactly. So, like, you know, if you've been taken advantage of and you feel like that, like, please just talk to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't have to be a professional. It could be a friend.
It can be anyone.
Because, like, I had it happen to me with a friend and I was just like, oh, no, like, that's not what I thought it was.
It off.
Like, no, like, you know, that's not how it worked.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't unconscious. Like, it wasn't me completely, like, I said yes at the start.
Yeah.
And then I told my friend and she was like, no, that's not okay. And I was like, yeah, no wonder I feel terrible. Like, but then I was like, oh, but, like, he's a friend of mine. Like, he wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's worse. Like, someone that you care about, someone that you trust.
Yeah.
It
should respect
worse for that because they're the ones that have just completely taken advantage of you.
Yeah.
And made you feel awful.
Yeah.
So it is such a hard thing to talk about. And obviously it's quite controversial because when you do try to report things, as we've seen in, you know, recent history, it is he said, she said.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of the time it's your word against theirs.
Yeah.
So if you're not comfortable with reporting things, just talk to someone because just having a sounding board is just so beneficial.
Yeah. And it'll just make you feel better as well, like that you've told someone. So if you do end up going in a downward spiral or if you're really heavily affected by it, like, you know, not most people, but some people can bounce back from it and be like, okay, like, that's happened. I've accepted it. Like, it's okay. Let's move on type thing. But a lot of people don't. Like, a lot of people hit, you know, and they get PTSD from it. And, like, it can affect people really, really heavily. So at least if you've, like you said, got that sounding board and you've told someone, at least they can somewhat keep an eye on you just to make sure that you're okay. Because if you do go into that spiral and you don't tell anyone, no one's going to know.
Yeah, no.
And it's okay to get help. Like, it's okay to have that support system.
Yeah. Like, it's huge just to talk to someone. Like,
yeah, and that's a big thing, and don't be afraid to do so.
Yeah. Obviously, again, we're not professionals, we're not counsellors, but again, I've been through it. Brooke's been through similar situations. Like, talk to us if you like to. Like, we are quite open about things. We're not going to obviously give you professional advice, but we can always just be like, look, we're going to listen.
Yeah. And that's all that you need most of the time is just someone to listen.
Yeah, literally.
And we're here for that. If you guys want to talk to us or if you need to talk to someone and you can't talk to a parent, because I know that a lot of girls especially can't or don't want to talk to their mums, like, especially if you're, you know, doing this sort of stuff at a young age.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk to your mum about it or you don't want to talk to your parent about it because, you know, that's kind of like a whole nother stem being like, I don't want to disappoint them, like, I've had sex too young, like, all of that sort of stuff. So if you need to talk to someone and you can't talk to a parent or you don't have access to a professional, talk to a friend or talk to, like, an older person that you feel comfortable with and that you trust, because that is valid. What you have to say is valid. Yeah,
exactly. No matter how embarrassed you feel, how ashamed you feel, 100% of the time people are going to listen to you and just say that, like, it's normal and what you're feeling is that, like, you have merit to feel that way.
Yeah 100%.
Sure. But probably the biggest thing that you should take from this conversation or what we're saying now is just don't feel ashamed if something has happened to you. Like,
unfortunately it happens.
It's awful and it happens and it really shouldn't happen. It happens to men, it happens to females, it always happens. But just speak about it and be confident that you did the right thing. You said no. You tried to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's happened and you got to address it.
Yeah. It's
For
unfortunate, but just talk about it.
So obviously that's quite a hard pill to swallow. It's a big, controversial type conversation. I don't think it's controversial in the fact that, consent's consent. It's just obviously a lot of the time people are like, I was drunk, or I did this, I didn't mean it.
Excuses.
Or like, I couldn't hear you, or, all this shit.
Yeah.
So, we are literally just trying to talk from experience and just to kind of have, as we said, we wanted to have some serious chats with you. So I know that a lot of people can resonate with some stuff we say. And obviously with our breakups, we got a lot of good feedback from that. So we thought we'd just chat about some experiences with consent, just to see if people out there are struggling, that we're here.
Yeah, or if you need to talk to someone. Yeah. Hopefully this would just give you a little bit of an uplift to be like, okay, it is okay to talk about, and it's not something that I should hide or be embarrassed about or be ashamed about. It's something that definitely needs to be more aware on both ends. Just obviously someone who's going through it or someone who's doing it to another person just needs to be brought up, really. Just needs to be aired out.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same as contraception. If you're not on it and you feel ashamed about it, don't be. If you're going through it and you're having a hard time on the pill, really analyze what is happening and see if it is the pill. See if it is something to do with your hormone imbalance. Just realize that you might just be feeling low because other stuff, or it could be a pill that you're on.
Yeah. And different pills affect different people.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately, especially with the pills, I know a lot of friends, you have to go through a period of time where you're on it in order to figure out what the side effects are going to be. I know, like I said, I've been on mine for 12 years and I have not had one single issue, whereas I've had friends that have gone 3 months on one and then gone, nah, can't do it, let's try another one, and then they have to go another 3 months to see how it is. So it's going to be different for everyone, but just be cautious and be aware about what's happening and what you're doing. If you don't want to be on anything, just be safe. That's all we ask for, is just be safe.
Be safe. Yeah. I mean, if you know us, you're probably like, you guys are hypocrites.
Yeah, we've got to be safe too. But we are.
We are safe. We are, honestly, as much as you probably wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't.
We are. We actually haven't had a scare, so it's sweet.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
We both look after dogs, so we kind of don't really want to have a child. So
yeah, we've got our own babies at the moment.
Both of our dogs cock block us enough, so Brooke's a lot more than mine.
Yeah, hence why I don't bring anyone over.
So trust me, we're not looking to get pregnant, and we're not trying to trap you.
Not yet. And there's nothing wrong if you do want to get pregnant. If you want to have a baby and you want to be a young mum. I always thought that I wanted to be a young mum, but actually. If it happens and you're happy and you're content with the decision, then by all means, if that's what you want, then that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with that either.
I praise you if that's what you think, but you think you're at. Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. But I have a dog to look after.
Yeah.
She's enough at the moment. Literally,
I've had mine for 5 days and I'm like, you are literally somehow the dog version of me and I don't like it. It's not a thing.
Very vocal.
Ugh.
She's got a lot to say.
Honestly. But yeah, so obviously that was quite a deep one for us. And if you didn't stick it out, fair enough. It's hard to listen to.
Yeah.
And if you did, we really appreciate the people that do listen all the way to our podcast. We are so appreciative of the listeners we have. And
40 to 45 minutes is a long time to listen to us
talk
about shit. I mean, this was a good one, but,
It's
talk
hard.
absolute shit for
It's
40
hard.
minutes.
It's true.
We thank you all very, very much for taking the time to listen to our podcast. It means a lot.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Like,
we look to try and get it shorter, but we just don't stop talking. So
we've got a lot to say, as you can tell.
We kind of can't help it. If we wanted to, we could probably go for an hour and a half.
Yeah, but we try and cap it. We try and cap it at 45 at least.
No idea what you're missing. But yeah, so thank you so much just again for listening, for supporting us. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Over this month.
Good fun.
But next week is going to be a lot more lighthearted. It's going to be
it's gonna
funny.
be fun. We're going to have a guest.
We are going to have a guest, and he's actually super funny because we're definitely going to get this person that we're targeting.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to really enjoy it because I think it's going to be super important to hear it from a guy's perspective.
Yeah, just to see, like, you're obviously getting two females' perspective on icks and how we go through stuff and all of that. So it's going to be interesting to see what he has to say.
Yes.
About everything. So, very excited.
Hopefully he can admit to some of the stories that we've actually already used of his. So maybe you can pinpoint which ones are weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that will be pretty
funny. Put him on the
spot. We'll call him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so listen in for next week. We're super excited for that. We will probably announce who the guy is before he comes on. And then we'll probably ask a bit more about red flags, icks and stuff on our Instagram, so get ready to answer that. And we want to try and make sure that whoever's Instagram it comes on, the other person blind reacts it, because I think it's a bit better when we do that. So yeah, give us your best, and we'll let the guy actually listen to him and see how he feels about it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited.
Yes, we're very keen to bring you that one. But yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Bye.